press it down hard, and then you detach those flakes, of course, from the underneath. This would be just opposite. I could turn this around with a wand. So actually, what they're doing, they're taking advantage of the science that's involved here. And they're doing some, well, and mapping, and the percussion flaking is something that I haven't really got a chance to learn because of the fact that I don't have enough material to waste. But maybe someday I will. I've only been back 2 years, and there's a lot of good percussion nappers out there that I didn't mention, but I mean, there's a lot of them that are really perfecting this art of percussion flaking. Okay. Now, let me say this too. For many years, I had the idea that the distributed back pressure that I described in the previous drawing was probably more important. But in the last couple of years, I've made some experiments, and I've discovered, I believe, that this damping effect, holding that flake down, I know you've heard me say that so many times, hold it down and forcing that flake to remain while it goes through its journey over that surface is the most important. It is the key, so far as I'm concerned, to all good napping, whether it's percussion or pressure flaking. Okay. And like I say, it's something I don't normally do, but here goes. Still not in the picture. Okay, here we go. Now that's about as far as I'm going to go right at this moment. Wow, okay. I get that up where you can see it. You see how those flakes, oh man, here's one, the last one was a transverse, and I dare say that all the rest of them flakes are falling off. Okay. And let me get in here. See how those flakes, and they're overlapped? Okay, this is what you can do with the easy flaking stuff. Look at that flake there. Oh, well, it broke right half in two. Now let me see if I can, all that dust on there, boy, that stuff in there. Now for in this segment will be for the purpose to demonstrate why I have spent some 65 years, I guess, to learn to do something that went out of style some 8,000 or 9,000 years ago. But anyway, okay, here we go. Like I say, it is to prove, or look, the factors to support the theory that this method, the way I've flaked this, could be the way these early Americans did this type of flaking. Okay, and I'm going to have to rush because I got a lot to do here. Very little time to do it. So the way I'm going to do it here is to present these factors and illustrate it in the form of a pie. See, okay, and of course the proof of the pie is in the pudding. So here's one of the main factors, of course, is to duplicate. And I figure this probably should be the big piece of pie. It's probably a lot bigger than what I've shown, but I need this room for more pieces down here of the pie. Okay, to duplicate. And I don't mean almost, but exactly. And that's just the theory or the method of flaking only. All of those pre-shaped preforms don't go in this case. They weren't authentic. Okay, so what do we got? We got another piece of the pie here is reality. I kind of live by that, reality. And the next, well, the simplicity. So actually we could probably join these two, reality and simplicity. The fact is that this method, the way I do it, is very simple, even though it may require some effort and some getting the feel to learn to do it. But nevertheless, I contribute that factor. The fact that it's so simple is a factor to prove this theory that that's the way they did it. It is simple. It's got to be simple. When you only have used one tool, and a tool that was, it says here, tool availability, so this is the other factor. The fact that this tool was available, if it wasn't, there was other tools, maybe deer antler, whatever. But at least it had to be something that was available to those people. And, okay, and that makes it simple because you can do it with just the use of the body. All right, then a process of elimination. This is another factor. And the way I'm going to use this is, in other words, if this is not the way that they do it, then somebody can come up with a idea that could disprove this theory, okay? There's one more thing I want to point out here, and that is, 2 years ago I made the first tape. I did this thing, this pie, and I put a blank piece of pie in here. In other words, a blank spot where there should be a piece of pie, but I made a note over here and pointed there to what it says. It said, I need a clue to fill this space. That's all I needed at that time, as far as I'm concerned, is to complete my theory that this is the way those people did it. I needed a clue, preferably a tool, a horn. Okay, so now, as of a few months ago, we have that clue. This no longer exists, that vacancy. We now have a clue. In fact, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And they all say that the tool was used to push those flakes off, like I do. Okay, so let me go to the next drawing. Okay, here it is. Here's the clue. This was something I captured off a video. It was in a video of the Iceman. If some of you have seen it. It was the one. There was two videos. But this one was aired by the TLC, the Learning Channel, and it showed this item. There was about 5 or 6 items that they showed. It was a grave that was dug up in the Dolomite Mountains of Italy, some 6,500 feet up, and that means it was cold. And these artifacts were fairly well preserved, of course. Okay, and this guy was not the Iceman, but it was in his vicinity. It's one of the highest graves, I think, that they've ever dug in Europe, it says. And this guy was supposed to have been buried some 8,000 years ago. Now, they showed this. I saw it the first time, and they said it was, these artifacts were made of bone, stone, and horn. Well, okay, so I got excited and watched my TV guide, and when it showed up again on TV, I jumped right on it. Okay, now, when I saw this, like I said, I copied it so I could examine it, and sure enough, when I saw this, well, I had a heart attack. You see, here's a tool that I've been using now for 50 years. And I never thought that I would ever see one so exact. I was hoping to find a clue, but not one this exact. Okay, but here it is. Yeah, this is one of them. Of course, I have a lot. You've seen all my horns here. And now this, of course, the fact that it was so exact size, the pistol grip and all that, that made a clincher. But wait, there was still even a real clincher. You see this gap here? That's a little scar. Well, it's made from usage. Okay, all of my tools have this same gap. And this is what really made this a clincher. So let's see, well, here, okay, I'll show you how that scar, well, you've seen me do this. You see why that scar, the fact that scar is made from usage up here on the high end, up on the high edge. Had it been in the center of this even, it would not have been that important. But it was up here. Okay, you see all of mine got this scar up here. And that's done this in this way. The fact is that if you're right-handed, and I suppose he was, that pushing those flakes off, you can see where I have to place this tool. If I put it over here, like if that scar had been in the middle, it would have been not as important, because see, it hits the pad. So I have to clear that pad, so it has to be up here on the high edge of this tool. Okay, and that was the clincher. Now, okay, I wish I could show you the real picture, but I don't have permission to do that, of course. And since I want to get rich, you know, with selling these tapes, well, they might want their share of it. But okay, let me. I'll show you three more clues, 3 more. Okay. Okay, yeah, I've got, I don't know, 3 or 4 or 5 more clues. And here's a tool here. This is the ULNA, U-L-N-A, that the bird point people that use to do the same kind of flaking as the earlier people. You use your thumb as a damping effect and your back pressure, and they push those flakes off with this tool. That's just one more tool. Okay, but okay, now you see the way this is beveled in this fashion. Now this is what really makes this clue really important to me. When I've been overlooking this factor right here. Okay, you see the way my tools are beveled? They're beveled to kind of point inward. This was to point outward. Okay, there's a reason for that. They said in the video that was aired by the TLC that this character was had been buried 8,000 years, so that would make him archaic. They said it was Neolithic, you know. Okay, so he was archaic. Now he would be early archaic. And there was a big change in the way that their flaking technique between, during that transition between the Paleo and the Arctic people. And let me show you and see if I can explain to you. First though, I've got to show, okay, I told you that my tools are beveled inward. This was a little bit outward, and there's a reason for it. If I were going to, I do, the kind of flaking I do is paleo. I learned it this way. I push forward, a bit forward, always. I start up at the top and in a sequence whereby each flake is removed, overlapping process, and as you come down, you work from the upper right to the lower right, always. It's the way the paleo people did it. The archaic people would have, yeah, okay, this is a tool that I made just especially to do some practicing and see if I could learn to work, to flake like the archaic people did. Okay, here is this is a Pandale point, and this is early archaic, and it's when they still exercised that parallel flaking technique. All right, the archaic people started at the bottom, or always at the lower right, and did their flaking in a sequence, in order, in this way. They overlap those flakes, as I've shown you in the drawings, but they do it just the opposite. There was a big change, like I say, during that transition between the Paleo and the Archaic. But so I made this tool, and you see what it would be. It would be like this tool. And of course, since this is Archaic, Neolithic, they said, okay, it's Archaic, and this is the way he would have used that tool. All right, now, since I'm Paleo, I use it just the opposite, or at least, oh, wait a minute, let me get some light here so you can see this. This is authentic, this is the real thing. So was this other piece, that Pandale point. Okay, I would start up here, and so would the Paleo man. He'd start up here, and he'd overlap these flakes in this order, this sequence, from the upper right to the lower right, always, no matter how he turned it, this way, upside down, whatever. It's always from the point to the base, or the base and the point, doesn't matter. It's always in that direction. Okay? So, let me show you. Now let me see if I can show you. But wait a minute though. Okay. Now let me see if I can show you how you can tell if it's archaic or paleo. Okay, you see these little tears here? They're little, look like saw teeth, and they're, all of them are pointing down in this direction. This tear, when that flake comes off, it's just overlaps, so when the flake comes off, it leaves a tear. And this shows you the order, the sequence in which he worked this. Okay, he started up here, and each flake came off, and you see those tears? It don't matter how you turn it. It's always from the upper right here. See, here's the other side, the same thing. You see those jagged edges pointing downward. It doesn't matter how you turn it. Now, this is paleo, okay? So let me show you the archaic. This one piece is all I have where they have the parallel flaking. But you can see a flake or two here. There's one there where the jagged edge, that is the sawtooth, points up in this direction, which means he started down here and he worked up. Now this is something I wish I had about a 5 or 6 hour tape. I could show you a lot of things that I've learned in these 66 years, but this is one of them, and this is why I'm going to show you this clue. You can see now, okay, this is paleo and this is archaic. They're two different methods. So this is why this is tapered in this manner right here. If it had been, if a paleo man had done it, he would have had to taper it like this, so that the working edge would have been right in here. Okay. I hope I've explained that. I wasn't prepared to do this. Material like this, obsidian. Okay, now let me show you what you are capable of doing with some real tough. This is from one extreme material to the other. This is about as tough that I could find that I could possibly work at all. Now, I want you to prove what those Indians were capable of doing with the type of technique that they worked out there, all those thousands of years that they used this technique. I want to attempt to prove here what they could do with that technique as compared to, well, what you can't do with the deer antler time, because this type of flaking requires power. It's pressure. Pressure is the name of the game, and you must be able to, and of course, with the whole body working as a machine, then you're capable of doing that. Now, what I'm going to do here, okay, in this next segment was originally, I taped the whole thing. It was about an hour long of flaking. Here's a piece of this material. I'll show you another one. Way back about 3 years ago, and it will hopefully prove what you can do with the rough, tough type of material. Okay. So what I'll do, like I say, originally it took a whole hour, but I've cut it down to about 20 minutes, and then I'm going to cut it down to probably about 4 or 5 minutes this time, because I don't have time to show you the whole thing. Looks like old limestone. You get a real close up and you see what I'm talking about there. That is rough stuff. Now the other side has a little bit of maybe flakeable stuff in it, but how much, I don't know. Anyway, I'm going to make a few flakes here, and then if it happens to, I'll probably run into a big problem and give it up. Because this, like I say, will be a challenge for this type of flaking. Now, I'm going to interrupt here just for a couple of seconds and explain about this tool that I'm using with this experiment. This is a buffalo. Even though it's an aluminum casting, this is a piece of buffalo horn that I removed from an old bull bison horn here. And I glue it in. That makes, in effect, it makes a buffalo horn. Actually, I thought that was going to be some flakeable stuff, but actually, it's getting pretty chalky even then. A bad flake there, went way over. That all the way over here. Edge it like this. That's going to be the problem, is ever getting through that without making some pretty big hinges. That's the kind of flakes they gotta make. That went all the way over here. Got under some of that crust. What would be the cortex. In fact, it's all vortex. Okay, there was 3 flakes. It did some pretty good thing. So I started out pushing far down just a little bit. And then rotate. What did happen? Oh, got just a little bit of it. Got a little bit of it. Okay, there's a few pretty good flakes. In fact, I'm getting a little bit of a run there. And probably all flaking. And if I do something, if I make a usable item out of this, it'll be a miracle. And at the same time, will just prove what you can do with this method of flaking. Pretty good thinning flakes, and they're, of course, they're mostly oblique. And of course, oblique is more efficient than collateral because you're working into the longitudinal axis. Therefore, you can make longer flakes. Now, and something else. I'm getting a little oval shape to this thing, and that's what you need to start running those flakes over. Like I said, there's not going to be this thing left when I get through with it. I don't know what it's going to be, if it's going to be anything, to tell you the truth. Got a little practice there, and I've got some oblique flaking. It's not that beautiful ripple shape, but it's effect, but it's still some pretty good flaking. However, look at this side. That's that. Well, I'm gonna try it anyway. See if I can get under this stuff here. I bet if I was one of those muscle men, those weightlifters, muscle car, I bet I could get through it. Okay, I got a little bit of that out. Now let's see. I got some more of it. I don't know from here though. Uh-oh. How about that one? Off the flake, get it on the floor. That's what you can do with this kind of flaking. You're holding that flake down, forcing it to remain. There's another one. Look at that. And that's not even supposed to be flakeable stuff. That's some kind of lime, some kind of caliche rock or something there. This side has a little bit of flakeable stuff on it. Well, I guess I said it's not flexible. It is flaking, but look what kind of flakes you have to get out of, have to do to get through it. Well, I'm going to shut it down. Boy, isn't that a masterpiece though? Look at that. That is something. I even surprised myself. I didn't think it was possible. But it could be classed as a usable weapon. Let me get it over here in the picture. You saw what I started with. Boy, that stuff is salty. A little bit. Oh, don't you look at that. That is fine grained material, isn't it? I believe I'd have had better luck. The pieces that I picked up out of the Devitage file. And let me see if I can give you